Watch who?
Hello, and welcome to To Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Yeah, watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
Did we do that in the right order this time?
I
felt like that was...
That was as
yeah,
we...
I don't know.
You're right.
Yes, I'm fine.
I don't think that was any different to any other time.
I don't know. Anyway.
Mark's losing it.
I am completely. Here we go. I'm still tired after last week's vaccine. I think I'm still recovering. Anyway, listener, you join us this week. Do you know what it was? It was that spacewalk we just had.
That took me a second, sorry.
So we've just come from the wheel. We're on that other spaceship.
Yeah.
We had our spacesuits on. We're used to space walks. We had one on the moon base, didn't we? But
did you
I just feel like I've been hit with all hammers.
Huh? The spacesuits were used again.
Have you been reading online?
I have.
Trivia? Oh no. Okay.
Only after the episode.
Okay.
Were used again in Star Wars.
Oh really?
Yes, they were in A New Hope.
Wow.
So the ones that Jamie and Zoe wear.
These ones we're wearing now, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Were used again in Star Wars and another Star Wars. I don't watch Star Wars, so another Star Wars episode.
Wow, that is very interesting. There
There's
we go.
Fact.
We're straight in there for the trivia this week. We never have such facts, do we?
Early on.
We are not factual, but this week we are. How come you're reading all of this stuff then?
I don't know. Why did I? Oh, I think I just read that to check that I had followed the story correctly.
Oh, okay. Because I'm slightly worried you're going to see like spoilers or anything.
No. I watched it all and then I read the plot afterwards to check that I had followed the plot correctly.
Okay, so you're probably going to know this more than I do, actually.
Oh, no.
This was... okay, well, it's The Wheel in Space, everyone, this week. And...
I skim-read the plot.
We have watched this... We've watched this completely separately this time.
We did last time as well.
And
no, you make that sound like this.
Usually we watch like one or two together.
Oh, right,
don't we? But
last time we did as well.
Last time so it's very odd, isn't it?
Yeah. So you made it sound like it was the first time.
And also I think we've watched different versions because Britbox, that you have been watching, has, as far as I know, has this new recon that was launched, which is exclusive to Britbox.
Yes, that's true.
And I've done the loose cannon version.
We have.
So, which is our usual sort of telesnaps and Photoshop.
Yeah.
So, just tell us a bit about what was it like? Was it like the other ones we've watched, or what was different about it?
So, actually, I did. That is something I read. After, so when I was like just checking, when I say I read, I just like read the plot. Like I remember that. But I do remember that it mentioned about something about because something was missing, and they talked about they were doing this. I don't know. I was skim reading it, but that some things were missing in this were in the original episode.
Oh, so are they edited down versions then?
So it doesn't have the scene with the cubed food.
Cubed food?
Yeah, this is what it said. So you know the very first episode where the Doctor and Jamie.
Well, also, can I just throw some other complication that you might have read about? So they did like a short, 10-minute little animation thing, which is an extra on one of the DVDs of episode 1, where it's just the Doctor and Jamie in the TARDIS basically for a little bit. So it might have been that as well. I'm not sure. There's
no animation. It was
okay.
It looked like
they've done a separate little animation as well. So, but then I don't know. Yeah, maybe they have cut it down. I didn't think of that.
So apparently, I might be wrong because again, it was late and I was skim reading. I'm sure someone will correct me. So, Mark can just edit this out. But they released a small amount of the episode.
Which is the animation,
the Britbox one.
Yeah.
No, or maybe I'm mixing it up. But they released a small amount at the same time that the last episode, Web of Fear, came out.
That is a little animation test 10-minute thing. Yeah. Which is different to this Britbox thing.
Yes. Right, so there was no animation on Britbox. I can tell you that.
It should have been telesnaps and whatever. I
saw like the Doctor and Jamie, they talked about food, but you didn't actually see any of the food.
So was episode 1 quite short then?
I don't know. It didn't feel any shorter than normal.
Okay.
I can only remember the food thing as a specific thing. Like, of course.
Food, anybody? I don't know.
But they talked about like he goes and gets pellet things, but they don't actually show what it looked like.
Right, okay.
In the telesnap. I don't know whether you had anything that maybe looked like it resembled it.
Do you know what? Episode 1 was a bit tough for me. I wasn't really paying attention. I was going to... So we've got 2 episodes that exist, episode 3 and 6, which I've watched a few times. It's on that Lost in Time DVD. I've never really done this story all the way through properly. I think, I've had the CD, and I've never found it that interesting.
No.
So I got the recon... So I'm watching that for the first time, and I thought episode 1 was a bit boring. So I wasn't... So there could have been cubed food there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But do you know what I had in mind? I had I had CGI Cybermen and a person, like Jamie and Kemmel climbing up the thing. I had some loose cannon CGI people in mind. So
no, I didn't have that. Had and that was the other thing as well that was weird. So in the TARDIS, the thing that they look in when they're looking outside,
the scanner,
the scanner, and it has like a black sort of rim around the screen. The whole thing had that around it the whole time. It was like you were watching it through a scanner.
Okay, well sometimes. So we've had. Maybe they changed it on the loose cannon. So the telesnaps are in that format.
Yeah.
With the sort of curved side.
Yeah.
So if you see a telesnap, I think they crop it out when we usually watch it. So maybe they've literally, that might just be like the telesnaps. Literally, they've gone through the film reel and gone photo. So yeah, I don't know. Do you notice any sort of Photoshop stuff then? Or literally, do you think it was literally telesnap,
I think it literally was telesnap basic,
Yeah, so I probably had a few more extra like we usually do.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's interesting actually. Yeah, we've actually watched different versions.
That's interesting. Yeah, but the same story.
But we know that. Yeah, we've got the same story, haven't we? Well, okay. So last week, there's no updates, but last week I put a bookmark in to say about my story about when I had the Doctor Who 1994 yearbook. So shall I just go into that before we get to the story?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Because,
here it is.
There's a few. I'll try and link it to this. This really isn't a Doctor Who story, but I think it's just funny to talk about. So
let's
just
stories,
go for it. Here we go, and I'll try to speak this. So here we are, the 1994 yearbook with Tom Baker on the front.
There he is,
and all the other Doctors, and inside there's some like short stories and comic strips and stuff, and there's a crossword. Really cool. Right. So I got this. I think it was either year 5 or 6. We're going back
to just on the side, just Doctor Who yearbook.
Yeah.
No year.
Well, it's not. It says 94 on the front.
I'm thinking if that was on your bookshelf, that'd be really annoying.
Yeah, I've got like 3, and they all say that. Yeah.
How annoying. Anyway, sorry.
So year 5 or 6, and in primary school where you either had, well, in mine anyway, you either brought your sandwiches, you had school dinners, or there was the option you went home for lunch sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Which I never did. There was a week, for some reason, I went home for lunch. And that never happened. And it's really weird. And when you're like younger and stuff, that is really exciting, going out for school in the daytime. But it seemed like I was gone for a long time, more than lunch. Anyway, it was this, I used to go home, have a cooked dinner, and I remember getting the 1994 yearbook when I went home for lunch. And it came in the afternoon post. Really weird. And I didn't even question it. I was just like, I've got food and a yearbook. Great. But I do remember going back and going into the classroom, and there was some... So this is the theory. This is why I think I was sent home, or taken home. Taken out of school.
Yeah.
I think I was taken out of sex education. It's basically what it is. Because I remember there's some diagrams and the girls were like in the corner of the classroom and I came back. I mean, I was gone longer than just lunchtime.
Yeah,
there was other things that have been going on by the time I got home. And I don't know, I think that's why I was given the Doctor Who yearbook. No, I've never asked about that.
You should ask.
Because I remember... The only other things I remember are there was a sex education thing in primary school. And again, I wasn't part of it, but I remember Ross and Tom, and my friend Luke, there was like a few of us, they were talking about it because they were in it. And they're like, oh, you missed this thing. Because I remember Luke asked what was the best position. I was the teacher. And I remember them talking about that. And I was like, I can't remember why I wasn't there, if I was just off, like ill, or again, I was like, given a yearbook to read at home or something. But it's really odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I do remember year 7 sex education, which was like one assembly, and this woman came in and she just talked a load of stuff, and then they were like, right, now that's done, who wants to audition for Bugsy Malone? They put it all in one assembly.
Oh my gosh.
But
you couldn't have been more different to mine.
That's but I
remember year 6. Oh, actually year 5.
So is it year 5 or 6? Because if you would have asked me now, I would have said you didn't have sex education in year 5 or 6.
No, we didn't. I'm saying year 5 or 6. I remember talking about periods.
See, I think there was a diagram of thing, and the girls were all talking about that. I think. Yeah, that, and then I don't know what the others were talking.
So
there were some
we
videos.
were a combined class, so we had year 5 and 6 together.
Yeah, we were as well.
So I remember just the girls, and it wasn't even an assembly. It wasn't even a talk. It was literally 10 minutes. It was, and I think it's because someone had started their period.
Right, okay.
So it was, we're not going to say who, but if any of you do, this is where you can go. This is what you can do. Yeah. It's okay. Come and talk to a teacher, sort of thing. That is literally what it was. No sex. But then my sex education in high school was like ridiculously extreme.
Right.
Year 7, it was like a term.
Oh my, no, yeah, we had one assembly and that was it. That was the whole thing.
We
for
had
the whole
science for like a term on it, and then we also had PSHE doing a term on it.
Wow. Okay.
And then basically year 8 you did drugs. And year 8 was drugs.
Oh yeah.
Year 9 you went back to sex ed because you had like these. I remember the wooden penises coming in, and we all had to put condoms on wooden penises.
Anything like that.
Year 10 went back to drugs, and in year 11 was sex ed again for like a term.
Okay, so I've got 2 stories then, right?
But hang on. Okay. But my mum is a school nurse in a private school, and it's a Catholic school, and they only had one sex ed. Like literally, again, they had one lesson, and I remember my mum, like in summer, would be like, Sarah, which one of these videos will be good? So I've had so much sex ed because in between, my mum would be like, do you remember any of these videos, or like what's any of this stuff? Like, because the poor kids would have like, that was it. And they didn't even do drugs at my mum's school because the school were like, oh no, they don't.
We had the Too Smart for Drugs roadshow with Kirsten O'Brien from CBBC and Point Break, the boy band, maybe came to do an assembly. Yeah. That was about it.
No, we had like a really extensive, in year 7, really extensive. It was a term of sex ed. And I remember with my sex ed, I'm sure I've told you this story, but we'll share it since we're talking. My teacher, so we had the boys and girls split up for like a few weeks, and it was my form tutor that was doing ours by chance. It was just chance. And she was the art teacher, and she didn't like the word vagina. So she wouldn't say the word vagina. So she just called it Lily. So whenever that word came up, she just called it Lily. So like she's reading all this stuff and she was like, and the Lily. And that's just, she was like, none of us like that word. Let's not use it. Let's just call it Lily. It's just like, that's one of my like overriding memories of sex ed.
So I've told you this story before a long time ago.
I might not remember.
So, well, there's 2 things. So the first one, the video I remember in primary school, which I don't see. I think I watched this because it wasn't part of sex education. This was like the pregnancy, having the baby video. And I remember it's a very sort of early 90s, documentary. She's there in bed, she's pregnant. Oh, she feels like she might be having the baby, so they call the ambulance, and you sort of follow her going into the hospital, right? And my memory probably is mixing things up a little bit, but I swear this is what I saw. Okay, they're taking her through, and she's like, I don't know, in a wheelchair. So they're wheeling her through the hospital, and I remember them being like, oh, she's on her way to the delivery room. But there's a problem, and I can see it. Now, she goes into this, like, cubicle, like these toilet cubicles, and they're like, oh, there's a problem. She's got worms.
What?
And she was sitting on this toilet, and they were like, she's got worms.
No, Mark.
And I swear to this day, she had worms.
No.
And then they go off on about these worms. And then she has the baby and everything, so I always...
You must have, misheard. No,
I swear.
No, but no.
Where am I going to get that from in year 6? Oh, there's a problem, she's got worms.
No, anything. You must have misheard that.
Anyway, so I remember.
I can't even think what that could be.
I don't know, but I just remember watching this video of her going into this cubicle and the voiceover saying that. The other thing, biology, year 9 biology. Yeah. Okay, we've gone totally off topic. Well, almost, because actually we see the Cybermen sort of being born in those balls, don't we? So we're still on topic to the wheel in space. We will get to the wheel in space in like a few minutes. But while we're talking about this, I remember year 9 biology, and maybe you saw this video as well. Explicit warning. Okay, everybody, we should have said this. I can't believe we're even talking about this, but... so they're having sex, right?
Right.
And it's like dark studio and they're literally there having sex, like in front on the camera, right? But what they did, what I remember, just being fascinated by like how they made this film. So you had like the shot from like the outside of them having sex. And then there was 2 camera angles, right? One from like inside the vagina out.
What?
Right. I know, right? And then one from sort of inside the vagina the other way. So, like, okay, I'm going to just explain what... I'm really sorry about this. So, you saw, like, from inside, like, and then the penis going, in. Like, right in...
Oh,
like,
my God.
Right? And then, obviously, when... like... Because it was about, like, sperm and all that kind of stuff. So then you saw... So then you saw... Then it cut to, like... the sort of, I don't know, penis eye view kind of thing of, like, the sperm, like, splashing up against the vaginal walls, basically.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, she's got a penis and 2 cameras. And it was well lit as well. I mean, I know they're like micro cameras, but they had the cameras in there while it was happening.
No, they did not.
They did. It was like,
They
honestly,
didn't. That must have been some sort of
when you
like...
see like an operation and it's like inside the little micro cameras. It was that. She had 2 of them in her vagina and the penis and it all going on.
My God.
And they actually were having sex. No, they did. 100%.
No way.
Okay, the worms thing might have been a misremembering. I remember this because I was thinking, oh my God, I wonder how they...
There is no way on earth...
This was a scientific documentary in biology, and you can put micro cameras up a vagina.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
She had 2. She had 2.
I don't.
I'm sorry, but that is exactly what happened. That's why I remembered it.
Oh my God.
Anyway, let's go on to the wheel in space now. Anyway, so I think I'd rather read the Doctor Who 1994 yearbook.
I mean, that sums up a lot.
Right, anyway. So the wheel in space, here we are.
Where are we, Mark?
Right. It did happen, okay?
Oh, God.
Right. Oh, God. So, yeah, Wheel in Space episode 1 is very interesting because, I hadn't really paid attention to this very much. And it's just the Doctor and Jamie, basically, for the whole episode.
Sorry. Keep going.
It fits with the theme, like Cybermen and cybernetics and stuff. Cameras in vaginas.
No,
I bet that's what the Cybermen have.
No,
anyway.
they don't.
Right, anyway.
Cybermen? No, they don't.
Jamie's still upset that Victoria's gone.
He is.
There's quite a lot of that, isn't there? And there's a long recap, and he says, doesn't he, when they're sitting down to...
Not in mine.
Oh, okay. Well, in this one, he's like, oh, where do you think Victoria is now? There's a few mentions of it.
There's a few mentions, not long.
But you have this whole fluid link in the TARDIS. They've got to get out the TARDIS suddenly.
Yeah.
As I say, I just found episode 1 as just like padding and quite boring. And I don't know, maybe I wasn't feeling sort of in the mood to watch it. I literally just watched episode 1 on its own and then had a massive gap afterwards because I just wasn't really...
actually. No, I
because nothing much happens, does it?
I did 1 to 3 straight through.
Oh, wow, okay. But I didn't find anything interesting happening, really.
I liked them still mentioning Victoria. I thought that was nice.
Oh, Jamie's really going to miss her.
Yeah. It's an odd story, is this? Let's just say
Well, not much happens, because all you get in episode 1, I know you meet the people on the wheel right at the end, because basically the Doctor and Jamie are on this rocket, and they're just about to, laser it and crash it down.
Yeah, but actually, no, quite a lot happens, because, the Doctor gets knocked out and all that, and
Well, I think he only gets knocked out because Patrick Troughton's on holiday for
next week.
episode 2.
Yeah. And you know what? I really noticed that is exactly what was happening.
yeah.
Like, it was so obvious. I was watching this, like, he is on holiday. Normally, we're like...
They're better at sort of covering it up in a way, aren't
or like
they?
Holiday Watch or whatever. I was like,
actually,
he's on holiday.
When does Doctor get, knocked out so bad that he's away for, such a long time?
Yeah, it was really
in the hospital on
obvious.
The thing. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, he even came back and made, a joke of it in the third episode, didn't he? Something like, I could do with a break or something. I enjoyed that break or something. Yeah. I can't remember, but yeah.
So all you get, the only sort of mystery you get is, okay, there's this empty rocket. The wheel, you don't really understand. I was getting sort of vibes from when you said about the Macroterra. What do they do? What are they there for? I didn't really understand. It's a space station, this wheel, but I don't know what their purpose is, really.
No.
And you never really find that out. Well, I didn't.
No, I didn't. What I will say is there were some really good, strong characters.
Well, international base again.
Yeah, we love an international base in Doctor Who.
With your angry leader as well.
Of course.
We've had a lot.
Yeah, but this is what they do. Like, in fact, while I was watching it, I was thinking, this is, textbook. It's...
By now it is, yeah.
It's so textbook. This is exactly what... It ticks everything. There's... it's spacey. It's got an international cast to it. It's got the leader that doesn't agree and has to be convinced. It's got a strong woman high up that's sort of on the side. It's textbook.
Yeah. And the only thing really that's intriguing I found in episode 1 was those balls that go into space for whatever reason. They come out those,
Well, later on what they are.
Yeah, but that's a mystery to begin with. That's all you get. Balls in space is all you get.
No, I did like that we met... I like Jamie sort of having to take charge because the Doctor was knocked out.
Jamie. And so, let's just go into episode 2 because, Jamie takes on a lot.
Yeah.
And the characters, okay, I don't know if I've got everybody's name. Gemma, I got.
Yeah.
She's great,
She's great.
She's another one. She is from the school of Miss Garrett, the school of Astrid, the school of... Who was the other one last week?
Edith.
Anne and Edith.
Yeah.
Gemma is up there.
Yeah.
Only other
I thought you'd like that.
I
mentioned Edith for you.
Yeah. Is it Tanya, the other lady? Is it Tanya? Who's a bit...
there's the one with her nose. Oh my gosh, that whole talk with her nose.
Oh yes, the nose talk. I'm glad you picked up on that. I
absolutely rolled.
Well, she's like, I can smell something with my nose.
Have I told you about my nose? And he's like, no. And she's like...
Leo, did I ever tell you about my nose?
Your nose?
Yes. It's like a barometer. It never lets me down.
Oh.
I smell trouble.
Can you pinpoint it?
It's something to do with that rocket out there.
I was like, what is this dialogue?
I'm pretty sure that's Tanya. And then the guy that she's with, I think that's Neil.
Oh my gosh, right.
So Neil and Tanya, they're sort of start off together, don't they? And what did he say to her? Something like, she's like, oh, I'll hold your hand if you're scared or something, or I'll hold it anyway, or, something like that. There's all this sort of, it just cuts to these flirty moments.
Yeah, they're sexual tension central.
Right through, isn't it? They just have these little chats all the way through the story.
They're kind of but sexually charged narrators to the whole situation on the side. It's so odd. That whole nose thing absolutely howled me. And I was like, that is the cheesiest thing ever to that's going to come up. I knew, I was like, that will go. Because later on when they're someone in here and she's like, my nose. It's like, oh my God, of course. I can sense with really my nose. Good. I was like, what the fuck?
She's great. So Jamie...
oh God, yeah, I loved it. I'm saying I was like, brilliant. So ridiculous.
So Jamie's in the Silver Carrier, I think they call it. He does this Morse code thing. And I was trying to work out, so he's doing this Morse code. Well done, Jamie, for knowing your Morse code.
Yeah.
And it interferes with their sound signals or something. So everyone's like in pain, or someone's even injured from Jamie doing this Morse code sound thing. I didn't really get how that worked together.
Yeah, but also bear in mind.
And then Tanya is working out the code, and she's saying the air pressure is low for some reason. We're getting sort of Moonbase vibes because something is in the store getting in. It's the Cybermen, and it's very Moonbase, I thought.
But also bear in mind that we've got the Cybermen are the ones that are affecting the waves. They're affecting the air, all that. So even though actually it might not.
Oh, it might not have been Jamie. Oh, right, I see.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
But because basically things are happening and then it's fine again. And there's a lot of that.
And then you see these balls come through the wall in the wheel, don't they? Then, so Jamie comes aboard. The fashion, actually, can I just say, it's very Ice Warrior fashion, those zipped up things in the pants. Is it just reworked? Like, we've had that a few times, even in Enemy of the World with the collars. They're all starting to look a bit the same,
yeah, it's all very samey.
I mean, you can imagine the wheel is up there, and then on the planet, you've got the Ice Warrior stuff happening. It could be in the same time.
Could be.
I mean, that's a way of looking at it. Or
could be.
They're just using the same budget. They're just reusing stuff. Yeah. But I felt, I don't know, the look wasn't interesting enough now. We've seen it so many times.
But that's, do you know, that was fine. It didn't bother me.
And I know it's sort of 60s space, and it's not going to change that much. That didn't
bother me because, we accept that it's future. If they can't always make the future look future, you know?
There was a really nice coat in Zara once that I really wanted to get, and it was made of that sort of material, that sort of padded material. And I saw it online, and it was quite expensive, and I looked at it for like 2 weeks, and then it disappeared, and I never saw it again. But it was like black, with like this gold sort of zip thing. Oh, it was really nice. And you reminded me of that. Anyway. So then Jamie gets a tour from Zoe.
Yeah.
Zoe, the librarian, mathematician, astro thing. Yeah. So what are you thinking of Zoe? And because immediately, even in Jamie's first scene with Zoe, Jamie's like, I'll put you over my knee or something.
Are you of Scandinavian origin? Danish?
No, I'm not. I'm a true-bred Scot, and I'll just thank you.
Scotland, of course. Pre-century history isn't my field, you see.
Well, maybe not, but just you watch your lip or I'll put you across my knee and lat at you.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
There was something,
They're very, bantery straight away, aren't they?
But she has no emotion, that's her thing.
Well, again, why am I talking about Miss Garrett so much in these episodes? She's a mini Miss Garrett.
Yeah.
What do you think of her? Let's just say in the story, what do you think of her? Did she annoy you? She was just...
No, she didn't annoy me. She didn't... I wasn't surprised that she wanted to come on board by the end. Let's just get there now.
Okay, right. But yeah, at what point in the story? I know. Sorry, I was trying to ask you without going into that, but let's just go into that. At what point in the story did you... Or was it right up until the end, till she stowed away?
I think it was when she was talking about, her emotions.
Okay. Because there's that whole, computer emotions.
She was talking about her, and they talked about her training and stuff.
They almost sound like she has been, brainwashed or especially,
She's come from a school where, you're sort of taught to be this way.
I wonder if she had sex education at school.
No comment.
I wonder what year she had that.
It was then that I was like, oh, she wants to break out. Okay. I imagine she'll end up trying to join them. But it was odd in that she was always there and she was involved. And you could see the doctor could see the benefits of her in terms of she's very clever. She knows things, she works things out, she's of benefit in that sense. And also, I mean, even at the end, it doesn't actually show her deciding to join.
Okay, yeah, we'll see what happens, won't we?
It's obvious she's going to. It's obvious she's going to because of the way... Otherwise, there'd have been a thing of her being like, oh, no. You'd have... you're not going to pay for that actress to come back one more week to be like, oh, no. She's going to be joining. Yeah. But it was an interest... I thought it was a really odd cliffhanger to leave it on.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you about that when we get to the end. I'll explain that. I'll explain why they did that.
But,
So, end of episode 2, it's the white ball, and the cyber baby is born in his little...
Weird. weird.
And so when did you think it was the Cybermen, or was it up to that point?
No, it wasn't until I saw the Cybermat.
Okay, and they've got slightly...
Which is like episode 3.
Oh, yes, of course, the Cybermat. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just moving my notes to episode 3. So the Cybermen, they've slightly different design, not too dissimilar. They've got different mouths, I think.
The Cybermen
voice, though...
So the Cybermen looked more like what I expect Cybermen to look like now.
Yeah. Okay.
Like their face and everything was what I picture now. The voice of the one that was a machine.
Oh, so the cyber leader thing, or the cyber microphone.
So that was the same as the first episode. The very first Cyberman appearance.
Not 10th Planet, no.
Yeah, it was.
No.
It was. Yes, because it was.
10th Planet.
Yes, it was because.
No.
It was that whole I will talk like this and this whole
that's the moon
Italian.
base. Yeah, the moon
Oh,
base.
sorry.
Yeah, not the.
Oh, right.
Not those.
The Italian style ones.
It was Italian style. But the other one talking wasn't Italian style. But I found the not Italian style even worse.
Yes, I preferred Italian style.
We didn't know how lucky we were with Italian style.
No.
All Cybermats have been destroyed. Destroyed? By what method? They have used high current phase contrast. One human has knowledge beyond apprehension. Report.
This, I don't even know what this was. This was more distorted, more electronic stuff, but just really difficult to understand, I thought.
It's weird how they have a monster, i.e. the Cybermen, and they just keep changing its voice. Why do they keep doing that?
Well, they're probably experimenting a bit. My disappointment with the Cybermen in this one was they don't have their cyber dome head leader from Tomb of the Cybermen. It's this close-up of... it looks like just a microphone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can't really tell what it was. I was staring at it, trying to make out a face or what have they done something. It's just a bit of equipment that they cut to. I'd rather just have the helmet of the cyber leader even then on a table and they just cut to a close-up of the pillar box or something. Like, it's just nothing.
Yeah.
That was really disappointing because you're going back and forth. There's quite a lot of dialogue. And it's just like, what is it? Where is this? I didn't understand what it was.
I understood them using an accent and a voice that we understood. Like, as soon as that one started talking, I was like, I've heard that voice. We have to
distinguish the leader as well anyway, don't you?
Yeah. The Cybermen being there did not add anything to the story, but, like, it didn't take anything away. They were just there. They were a nice sort of, like, bad addition. It's a really odd story.
Well, I'll carry on through my notes here.
Yeah.
So Jamie wants to sabotage the laser because he's scared that they're going to blow up the rocket.
TARDIS.
Okay, I followed that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they don't want to blow up the TARDIS. Yeah, that's on the rocket.
And luckily there's some quick-setting plastic.
Handy.
Labelled on the side.
Yeah, it made me laugh. Everything's such a blur, and then that's, like, really clear.
Yeah. But good. Again, points for Jamie for knowing what quick-setting plastic is and
He's
what to do.
He's been around for a while. You know, he's been around for a while now.
What would you use quick-setting plastic for?
Well, I think he's just thinking like
it's
something
like soldering, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just thinking like it'll harden.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? Just the label of the stuff.
It's so funny.
Zoe, there's lots of talk about Zoe calculating that the star's going supernova, so there's a lot of chat there. Well, let's talk about Gemma because she, for me, is the star of this story. I thought she was great. I was so upset when she died.
Yeah, she is.
I know. I think she's great.
She is. She's not the star though.
No, for me, I could follow the scene she was in. I was interested in listening to what she had to say. Some of the others, not so much.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like Shouty Captain, I was like, I've no time for you.
Was it Jarvis? Yeah, I didn't have any time for him at all. No.
I enjoyed more the love companion.
Oh, okay. I think it's Neil and Tanya. I'm really sorry.
That's what we're going to call them. Yeah. Now, Neil. I was more loving Neil and Tanya stuff.
One of the actors is Errol Flynn's son, apparently. I can't think of... Oh, I should know what Errol Flynn has done.
I can't think. I know the name.
He's like a bit like... I get him mixed up with Clark Gable.
Right.
But what has Errol Flynn done? I think he's done a Robin Hood film. That's all I know. But anyway, one of them is Errol Flynn's son. I was trying to work out which one it was, but I'm not sure. No, I thought Gemma was great, and I was upset.
I really liked her. But so, for example, if we're at a point now, you're watching and you're thinking like, who's going to be joining them? You know, someone's going to be joining them on the Tide. You do.
Okay.
You're at a point.
I think it was Gemma.
There was a point where I was like, she's too old.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
But there was a point early and I was like, oh, could it be her? Because she's,
That would have been really interesting.
Yeah.
That would have changed the dynamic a lot.
Oh, yeah, Gemma. Completely. But, she told us she was too important. To be a companion, you sort of need to be not too important but want to have adventure.
Yeah.
Unless you're Victoria, in which case you're just sort of like...
oh, poor Victoria.
We better bring her along. She's no family left now. Come on.
So... the Cybermats then.
Yeah.
Nice to see them again.
It was.
Slight little upgrade. They've got flashing eyes this time. I love that the guy, I can't remember his name now. It could be Errol Flynn's son. Where he's like, oh, where did you come from? And then he hides it in the cupboard like he's just found like a little pet.
Yeah.
And then he regrets that decision because it chews through all the pipes or does something.
Yeah.
They do a lot of damage, those Cybermats. You can see the value of the Cybermats in this more than Tomb of the Cybermen.
Oh, yeah.
Here, they're actually like infiltrating and damaging, like rats.
Yeah.
Like send the rats in to like go into the electrics.
I love the Cybermen.
They are really good. I found them better in here, and they're more of a threat. There's that scene where that guy, could be Errol Flynn's son, gets attacked by them all and killed.
Yeah.
He was a bit over the top though, so hopefully he wasn't Errol Flynn's son. Do you remember that bit where he's like, no, and then he's like, they get his hand or something.
Oh,
and
I
he's
thought
like,
that was great.
And he tries to get the plastic on one of them and stuff, but he's like, no. Like, I think the close-ups and the sort of
maybe that was it. Looked fine on mine.
For me, I think.
Yeah, it looked fine on mine. Maybe that was your footage.
I don't know, maybe.
Mine looked fine. It wasn't too, because you didn't see too much of that. You heard it, but
it was very well
more
edited.
Them trying to like get it.
It was more well edited, and I think in the Tomb of the Cybermen they just sort of were just on the floor, not really doing anything. But here they were attacking in formation, and they could blast you with something and do something to you and hurt you. So it was good to see them again being more effective. Oh, and then we get the spacewalk then.
Yeah.
Some of them go... So there's a couple of guys. One of them could have been Errol Flynn's son.
Oh my God, right. You need to stop saying that right now. Drop it.
So one of them, there's two of them over there, and they get sort of hypnotised by the Cybermen. I think until I've gone through everybody, I'll be right on one of them.
Anyone in this cast could be Errol Flynn's son right now who was male. Okay, we've covered everyone. Continue.
So they get hypnotised by the Cybermen, don't they, and taken over and then sent back. And this is where I had the CGI Cybermen getting into their box, into the crate, you see, over at the other rocket. And then they take in the crate over in their spacewalk to the wheel, and they sort of smuggle the Cybermen on board. I think we only ever see 2 Cybermen. It's not like a cyber army and there's tons of them.
Some more later. So there's a really funny scene. I can't remember if it was... I think it was episode 6, actually. So it is footage when they are walking through space and there's like 4 of them. You know, when they've gone to get the army.
Right, okay.
And they're walking through because they get to the door and manage to get in. There was like 4 of them there. They were like, duh, 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 and it looked really funny.
It rings a bell now. Do you know what? I might have looked away in episode 6 because that's when my Liverpool top got delivered in the post. So I went to the door halfway through episode 6, so I did miss a few minutes of episode 6.
So
sorry.
That was really funny. It's really in fact, I want that to be some sort of like GIF for life, but I don't know what.
I'll look it up.
It was really funny. I don't want it as a GIF. I want it, but to some like rave music, like I don't know what. But music over the top of that scene, any music will just be really funny because it proper made me laugh. Then like. It's very obvious that they're just walking on a black floor with space cloth around. Yeah. But it just looked really
None
funny.
of the spacewalky stuff is particularly effective in this one.
No.
Not this time.
No.
Sorry.
That them coming in episode 6 is freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I've written Jarvis annoying, so he must have got even more annoying by this point in part 4.
Yeah.
There's a nice scene between Zoe and Jamie. There's quite a few Zoe and Jamie scenes where she's recording something and Jamie's like, oh, how'd you record your voice and stuff
what you
like
doing?
that. Yeah, so they're building that relationship ready for sort of later on, which is nice. And the Doctor's sort of out out of it for quite a lot, that Jamie does need to have other people to talk to.
Yeah.
There is a slight... I don't know if they included it here. So one of the guys that's hypnotised, he gets electrocuted.
Yes.
Did you see the footage of that?
I'm pretty sure I did, yeah.
That's one of the censor clips where he's like, ah!
Yes,
like
that rings a bell, yeah.
I've just acted that out, everyone. So I know that mini second.
Oh, I didn't see a clip of it.
It was just him going, ah!
I didn't see movement.
No, there was slight movement, yeah.
Yeah, not on mine.
I literally like half a second of, ah!
Yeah, I might be wrong, actually. But I do remember seeing that part, yes.
And then Jamie and Zoe have to go to the rocket. And this is where, in episode 5, this is where Gemma is dead.
Yes.
Did you notice, obviously they've not paid the actress for the next episode after she dies. Jamie and Zoe come back and they look on the floor. There's just a photograph of, they just cut in a photograph of her.
So on mine,
which I think,
our
maybe
lover
that's 6,
pair,
maybe that's 6, the actual footage one.
Our lover pair, they go onto the screen and just look at a shot of her on the screen.
Yes, but I think this is later on. It must be 6 actually, because it's actual footage, because they were looking and then it cuts and it's very obviously a still of the actress just on the floor. Like, we'll just take a photo for next week. I've put Jamie and Zoe's space acting isn't great.
Yeah.
Sort of floating. But actually for Zoe, for her first story, she gets to do a bit of everything. She gets a bit of action, she gets a bit of light sort of banter with Jamie, she gets the science stuff with the Doctor. I don't think she actually sees a Cyberman or a monster, does she? They're all sort of kept away from it. There's not much sort of interaction with apart from when they're killing people. There's not much interaction between the Cybermen and everyone. But Zoe gets a good enough sort of audition story.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't like her outfit though. We just did close watch on her. I didn't
I liked it.
No.
Not for Mark.
No.
I liked it.
Oh, yeah. Did I say Tanya and Ryan? Ryan?
Who's Ryan?
The lover pair.
You didn't call him Ryan before.
Yeah, what did I call him before?
Like Gwen
Neil.
Neil. You call him Neil.
Oh, no. That is the problem with so many of them. It was really difficult to... Let's just see if I can find... Oh, Leo Ryan is one of them. Maybe Leo Ryan is going out with Tanya.
Okay, so...
Leo Ryan is Errol Flynn, which I think is... what's his name? Oh my God, my mind's gone. Flynn's son.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing with the surname, yeah.
I've forgotten his name. I've said it so many times.
I know you have.
So I think Leo Ryan is going out with Tanya, I would say.
Okay. So you've just put Tanya and Ryan, but you meant
Tanya
Leo.
and Ryan, and I think what did I put earlier?
Neil.
Who's Neil?
Who's Neil?
I'm sorry, everyone. Hang on. Is there a Neil here? Is there a Neil here, anybody, on the wheel? Is there a Neil on the wheel?
Neil. Calling Neil.
Can you just do the wheel intercom? Anybody on the wheel in space called Neil, please come to reception. There's no Neil here. I'm really sorry, everybody, earlier on when you were listening to me saying about Tanya and Neil. I'm thinking, what the fuck am I talking about? Already,
people have tweeted us going, there is no Neil. Don't worry.
Maybe that's my right. There's not even anyone Neil-like here.
Oh, I don't know.
I just invented a Neil on the wheel.
They were just the lovers to me. That's all. In my head, I didn't even give them names.
Okay, so it's Leo and Tanya. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leo and Tanya. Tanya and Ryan. No, where's Ryan? Oh, Leo
Ryan.
Oh my gosh. I don't usually have this much trouble with character names. It's just, I think it's because there's so many missing episodes in this that you don't really get to... And they're all wearing the same, and they're all just walking around. There's a lot of extras.
There's a lot of extras.
There's this girl that's just standing there in a lot of the... Did you know? I don't know.
I did see a girl.
Like this drama habit, and she's just standing in the front, just looking at her
you've got telesnap sort of thing. There was no girl just walking around.
There's a lot of different girls just walking around in this.
I feel that. I got a lot of men.
It's because there's a lot of characters in that set,
Yeah.
on the spaceship set, and then they're like, "Oh, let's make it a bit busier, and let's just throw in 4 or 5 extras as well walking around." And then you're like, "Hang on, who's who?"
Because also, so many times different people are like under influence. I didn't know who was under. I just knew
'Cause
people
they
were
put,
under influence.
metal on their neck or something
Yeah.
to stop them being influenced. Yeah, but then again, I think you miss a lot of that in the missing ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to explain the end, so Zoe stows away.
Yes.
We've gone through the story very quickly, but it's just how it is. So
We talked a lot about sex ed as well.
She gets into that.
And she bonus
she gets
everyone.
into the chest. I don't know how she fits in that chest because usually it had a bell and a mug and everything in it before, didn't it?
Now it's empty.
And now it's empty. Conveniently. So then the doctor says, "Okay, if you're going to come with us, this is what you're facing."
Have just sort of one thing, sorry.
Okay.
The doctor did something in the first episode in the TARDIS that was really cool. He moved one of the rings.
Oh, he had that was at the when he gets his headset out at the end.
Yes, it was at the end. Sorry,
the
none of it.
roundel things.
Yes, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's like
carry
the first
on.
instance we've had of
Yes.
something being in a round thing.
Yeah.
Did you notice though that part of the set? There's sort of like a built part of the set with the round things in that's like quite sturdy, and then one of the sides is just a photo blow up.
Oh, is it? I didn't
Because
see.
you can see, and that it's really badly damaged. You can see in the background of that last scene, it's like bits of it are like torn or like there's tape on it or something. It's just a photo. It's worse than my boards and setup that I had here. Yeah. So I think that's been from the first episode though. That it's just got damaged in like.
Yeah.
So you've got I think 1 actual built bit and then 2 or 3 sort of just photo blow up round things. So.
Yeah. Sorry, I enjoyed that.
Sorry.
But
Yeah.
So she's a stowaway, you were saying.
Yeah, she's a stowaway. And then he's like, right, watch this. Watch Evil of the Daleks, episode 2, is basically what he says. So you see a clip. So actually, so this is the last story of the season. And after this, they repeated Evil of the Daleks. So that she showed... So it was basically saying, we're repeating this story. It just conveniently fits in that they actually showed it on TV in between the season break.
Oh, I see.
So next week, viewers, you can watch Evil of the Daleks. So I think they put that in there. It's really weird because imagine if, right, the first Doctor said to Katerina, "Are you sure you want to come with us? Here, put this on. These are the Daleks. Are you sure you want to come?" Why?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense that he's suddenly doing this.
It does kind of make sense.
He could have said that to Dodo before he took off.
It makes
the Monolites are on their way.
I disagree. It makes a little bit more sense because the last companion left because she was too scared and it was all too much for her.
Well, yeah, he should have done that with Victoria.
Well, I mean, they didn't know, like, this has never really been a thing before.
Well, he was rescuing Victoria a bit, wasn't he?
And this has never been a thing, has it?
That's a good theory, yeah.
So to actually be like they've literally just had a whole thing where they've had someone with them that they've taken on and it's been she was scared of everything, it was too much. So he's sort of like saying, are you sure you are ready for what this is? They've never done that before. But also, they'd never had someone like Victoria that it was too overwhelming and scary for. So
okay, that's
Victoria
a good theory,
didn't even have a choice.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
that's my theory.
So, that's very responsible of the Doctor. So
yeah, because she's young as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's not.
No,
young,
I feel like she's quite young.
She's not like she's older than Victoria was. I feel she's more like Vicky's age.
She's a Vicky, isn't she? I don't know if that's because of the intelligence science, and obviously Vicky was educated. Vicky probably had sex education.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I can't believe we're talking about this.
You are. I'm not.
I just thought it was an interesting story.
Since we finished talking about it, you've brought it up twice.
It's called looping back into what we talked before, just to, round off the episode. It's just,
I'm trying not to scar our viewers.
What are we talking about? So, this wasn't really if we're talking about this was a good one or
I'd give this
a memorable one or something.
It's like a 5.
It's just all right. It's not terrible.
No, but it's what I've come to expect.
I don't know if it's because I don't know it that well.
It's exactly what I've come to expect, and I did 3 and 3, and it wasn't painful.
No, see, I did like 1 and then 5.
Yeah, so that probably was.
It's not. It's just not one I would really choose. Well, I haven't chosen to go to it.
No,
and I'm not that excited if it turned up. I don't know. It's just not really anything.
But the moments that I did enjoy were for the right reasons. Like I enjoyed Cybermen Spacewalk, and
and some of the characters. I'd like to see more of the characters.
I enjoyed the chemistry between the lovers.
Yeah, Tanya and
Leo
Ryan.
Gwen, whatever he's called.
Gwen.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. So I enjoyed seeing a Cyberman again.
Yes,
so
there are moments.
There's moments
the plastic
where
moment was funny. And I like that. Yeah,
and I enjoyed Jamie doing stuff again.
Yeah. So where are you with Jamie then at the moment?
I'm feeling good. I feel like this was a good episode for Jamie because he did stuff and he was involved. I mean, he had a whole episode where it was without the Doctor, so that probably helped. But even when he wasn't with the Doctor, he was, learning and trying to be useful. I don't know. It was a good story for Jamie, I thought.
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, he's back up. He's got a bit more interesting.
I just felt with Victoria, he didn't have anything.
Well, it'll be interesting now because Zoe seems a bit more argumentative, and do you know what I mean?
I don't think she is.
Argumentative. I don't know.
Well, she has no emotion.
Well,
she doesn't show emotions.
Yeah, it's a sort of social.
So socially,
things.
Whereas he banters and stuff, she's got to learn all that.
Yeah, because there was some nice stuff about, why didn't Zoe think of X-raying the Cybermat and stuff? And then Jamie's like, well, why didn't you think, you didn't think of it and stuff. I did like that.
Yeah, I think there's some really nice banter that you wouldn't have had with Victoria. And that's not I did not like Victoria, but she was just a bit...
Well, they had to go with someone completely after Victoria. Yeah. Where do they go now? So you've had a Polly, then you've had a Victoria, now you've got a Zoe. Yeah. They all are very, very different. So then they've got to do that, haven't they? They can't just have another... And you've got an intelligence, so she's not really she's not a Vicky. She's not a Susan.
No.
As far as we know so far. They're trying to get another sort of character, this computer sciencey element.
Yeah.
Is, I think, going to be interesting.
But it's what's sort of been missing as well. I feel like what I felt in the last few...
It was, the last sort of spacey companion that knew stuff was Stephen.
Yeah.
Space pilot Stephen.
I'm fine with them not knowing stuff, but I feel like the companions need to be actively involved. And the trouble was, Jamie obviously is not science. Yeah. He's not of the right century or anything. That's fine. But with Victoria being there as well, who also wasn't, and she was not an active person, he sort of wasn't either. So neither of them were very, forward. Whereas, at least when Jamie was with Ben and Polly, dare I say it, at least, they did stuff. But at least they were more active. At least things happened. At least they were involved. I felt like with Victoria, he wasn't really... It was almost like, in my head, they're just, getting it off somewhere all the time. Do you know what I mean? They're too busy doing that. If we're talking about sex education, Mark. But, I felt like they weren't really doing anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is nice because it's someone that can, read out things and help and, be involved in what is happening and be useful. But that doesn't sideline Jamie too much because Jamie also has his purpose. He's
So you're positive for some Jamie and Zoe?
Yeah, and I think also he'll help teach her.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's sort of a nice sort of relationship for that to be.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Great, okay.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, not an epic ending to season 5.
No.
We've done another season.
We've done another season. Doskers next.
So it will be the Doskers next.
Oh my golly ollie.
But should I tell you the name of the story that's after?
Yeah.
For season 6?
Yeah.
So the next story is called The Dominators.
Oh. Okay. I'm feeling gimp suits.
Gimp suits. Okay.
It's all this sex ed talk.
Yeah.
Penises on vaginas
season 6
and
will be the
cameras.
Yeah. There was 2 cameras in her vagina.
Lilies.
In her lily. Anyway. I can't believe you don't believe me on that. Anyway. It's true, everybody. I know what I saw. And that was quite a long time ago. Technology's moved on since then.
Yeah, I don't need to keep thinking about this, Mark.
Sorry.
Neither do the listeners.
So it'll be our Oscars next time.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. I'm just trying to work out the venue at the moment. So there's a couple of different options I've got.
And of course, COVID restrictions are still in place.
So the wheel might be a possibility. It's got plenty of space to sit round.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking either back on the Tomb of the Cybermen. I'm not sure. Possibly that might be an idea.
Don't want to go there. The doors.
Oh yeah. I phoned up Caftan. It's going to cost £50 to use that venue, so maybe not. Yeah. Anyway, I'll work on a venue for and send out the invites. So we'll see you all there for that. On our what?
You.
Yeah. So in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at ToWatchWho. And you can support us on buymeacoffee.com/ToWatchWho. There we go. That's a new one. Would you like to add anything?
No.
Are we done?
Oh, we're done.
And we'll see you. I think we're having a week off and then it'll be the Oscars. That's what we usually do.
Yeah.
So
we might stick something out, but we'll see you.
So we'll see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.
To Watch Who.